What up? K-Rugs, the sober dog, coming at ya. Needle exchange. Is it good? Is it bad? Does it enable? We're going to get into it a little bit today. And I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Do you think they should have needle exchanges for addicts or not? You think it's good? You think it's enabling? Let me know. All right. Hey, Sober Dogs does not promote or condone any drug use. Please seek professional medical help if you have an addiction. Recovery is possible. All right. Let's get right into it. Hit that subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Needle exchange programs. Now, these can be controversial for a couple reasons. Some people don't like their tax dollars going to programs like needle exchanges. Some people think it's enabling. Some people are all for them and think we should have them all over. So there's a lot of differing opinions. The one in Baltimore was a bus that actually drove around. It was a needle exchange bus, and it would stop at certain high drug areas in the city, and you could literally go up, wait in line with a bag of dirty needles, get clean ones. The cops wouldn't mess with you because they knew what it was. And while you're waiting in line, the workers are coming out offering you orange juice. Let me check your blood pressure. Let me give you, temperature, any open wounds you want me to check. They're giving good health care to people who might not have ever had it, or at least not in a decade or years or whatever. And then again, if someone's ready for recovery, hey. As far as the tax dollars go, well, our tax money goes to a lot of things I think a lot of people disagree with. So it's not like we could necessarily pick or choose every program. That's something more along the lines of you got to go to your congressman or woman and fight it, or vote different people in if you disagree with it. But I think it's such a small amount that it really is insignificant. And as far as the federal funding, up to 2016, the federal government didn't pitch in with needle exchange programs. They switched that in 2016, and they do, give some funding. Prior to that, it was like healthcare companies or nonprofits. Enabling. I firmly disagree with this one. I don't think needle exchange enables addicts at all. I've never met an addict myself, anyone I've ever used with, anyone I've ever met in active addiction or recovery, who says, I can't get a clean needle today, I'm not going to use. Doesn't happen. They're going to reuse old needles. They're going to share. They're going to do whatever they have to do to get high. Pretty much, period. So in my opinion, why not give them clean needles? Most of these exchange programs, also, it's not just somebody walks in, gives them old needles and gets clean ones. I mean, you can do that, but they give clean cotton, clean water. They also offer medical checkups at a lot of these places. Hey, sit down for a minute while you're waiting. Can I check your blood pressure? Let's see if you had a temperature. If there's any open cuts. So they're offering medical help. And if somebody's ready to go to a rehab or recovery, they got information there. They got pamphlets. They got, people they can call, get people set up right into a bed or a rehab. So I think that's all positive stuff. And I think that's good. Now, the biggest reason I think we should have them is disease. I talked to a guy a while back who said, who cares? We shouldn't have them. Let them get disease and wipe each other out. Obviously, I wanted to wring this guy's neck, but I had to be diplomatic. And, he didn't know who I was. I didn't know who he was much before this. And I don't know everything. He doesn't know everything. Nobody does. So we got to try to learn from each other. But very frustrating as an addict, a recovering addict. But his image was that the addiction community is all in a bubble and that they stay in that bubble. That's not true. People in active addiction, myself included, dated people who weren't in active addiction, had friends and family who weren't in active addiction, worked at restaurants and stores and call centers and places with people who weren't in active addiction. So helping stop disease from spreading in that community actually helps it from spreading in the overall community. Many people in active addiction are dating somebody who's not in active addiction, or take me for example, I was in active addiction, now I'm not. I'm dating people, dating girls, actively. So the fact that I was able to get clean needles the whole time, I never got anything. So now I don't have to worry about spreading anything to anybody else. Say I had, then now every time I date or I'm with somebody, I let them know ahead of time, and then potentially it would be spread to them, and then it would be spread on. So by helping stop the disease in that community, when hopefully those people recover, at least some will, and get out in the regular community, that's less disease spreading there. Even some that don't really get into recovery, they're still sometimes dating people and working here, like I said. So it's actually beneficial to everybody. Also, it's saving tax money on, you know, Medicare and Medicaid, excuse me, for people who would need services for these diseases, and you know, healthcare costs, because it's less disease being passed. Also, one of the most important things is needles all over the place. I live in Rochester, New York, and there's been a lot of issues of like certain couple areas in town where there's needles at parks and needles on the floor just thrown everywhere. And, you know, I hate to see that, but these programs help get rid of that and clean that up more, because people are bringing their old one in and getting new ones, so they're not throwing it, which I don't know why they do anyway, but whatever, they do. So that's helping so that kids and pets and people walking don't have to walk into these and pick them up and potentially get, you know, get pricked with the tip of one. So I think in general, it's overall, it's good. So I think they're a good thing. I think we should have more of them. What do you think? Let me know. I'm curious to hear. And if you think they're not good and they're enabling, that's fine. You know, everyone has their own opinion. I want to hear, you know, everyone's point of view. All right, everyone, thank you for the support. You guys are awesome. K. Ruggs, the Sober Dog, and I'm out. See ya.